Tonight, Honorable Jean-Jacques Ekindi has challenged Cameroonian opposition party leaders running for the upcoming presidential election in the country to provide concrete solutions to the current crisis rocking the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. But prelates will be telling us in this edition of the news in Limbe that no military or political solution can put an end to the current unrest. They say that only peace is the ultimate. Plus, Professor Maurice Kamto says that his respect for the Defense Corps in Cameroon is not debatable, but maintains that those behind the brutal killing of women and babies identified in a viral video in the far north region of the country must be brought to book. Stay with us. We shall be right back. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back from the weekend. You are watching the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. As a crisis in the two Anglophone regions of the country deepens, opposition party leaders as well as political actors have continued to propose concrete solutions to the current situation in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. Jean-Jacques Ekindi of the Progressive Movement Party has said that candidates running for the 7th of October presidential election in the country must be able to provide solutions to the current Anglophone crisis. He said that a coalition is important but must be built on a common platform. He was speaking in a press conference which took place in the city of Douala today. Our reporter Mfomi Armstrong Sanda was there. He brought back the following story. The report of Mfomi Armstrong Sanda that is going to be talking about the press conference of Honorable Jean-Jacques Ekindi that took place in the country's economic capital Douala today. During the set press conference, the national president of the MP political party challenged opposition party leaders running for the 2018 presidential election in Cameroon to seek lasting solutions to the Anglophone crisis. Let's have details in this report.
Jean-Jacques Ekindi, president of the Progressive Movement Party, convened the press in a meeting attended by representatives of 6 opposition political parties running for the October 7 presidential election. Many speculated the president will announce the creation of the much-awaited opposition coalition or declare his support for one of the candidates running for the October polls. But throughout the meeting, no such announcement was made.
We have a lot of experience on how political battles went on in our country. And we have at least to let people know how these experiences can work. It's up to them to decide. By so doing, I want everybody to understand that if the time has not come for you to win, think of how you can improve your position in order to win sooner or later.
Jean-Jacques Ekindi rather concentrated on conditions he believed a good candidate must fulfill in order to gain the confidence and vote of Cameroonians.
Let them expose what they want us to do and what they are ready to do for Cameroon. I said that each candidate has to state what he is proposing concerning the Anglophone crisis. The Anglophone crisis has to come to an end. What can be done very rapidly is to stop violence. The power made an error when they said we don't even want the people to talk about federalism. No.
Jean-Jacques Ekindi had.
We, of course, will be coming back to that report in our subsequent newscast. In Douala, Yaoundé and other parts of the country, meetings and activities are going on unperturbed, but the story is different in some conflicted, in the conflicted northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, where the ghost town is being observed. This Monday was another day of deserted towns and roads as well as business sites in the northwest and the southwest regions of the country. Let's have the details in this report. Monday, August 13th, 2018, the town of Limbe is on a standstill. Bars, streets, roads which are busy on ordinary days are locked and deserted. Business sites have remained closed since traders retired home the day before. The roads are no-go areas for taxi drivers. Only a few private vehicles can be spotted, and even the number of motorbikes are countable. The scenario in Buea and Bamenda was not any different. Locals opted to stay indoors, and to capture the images was a major challenge to reporters on the ground. In the town of Buea, the billboard at a local head office of a financial powerhouse was destroyed by unknown armed individuals. The incident in broad daylight took place meters away from the Moloko police station. It is still unknown who the masterminds are. Buea residents and businessmen have continued to stay indoors despite the war waged by Mayor Ekema Patrick Esunge against traders and drivers who failed to carry on with their activities normally on Mondays. Ghost Town is traditionally observed on Mondays in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. This has been a weekly tradition for close to 2 years now. And the Minister of Defense, Joseph Vitiasomo, met with some other top-ranking security officials in the country, that was in the nation's capital, today to strategize on how to preserve peace before, during and after the 2018 presidential election in Cameroon. The professionalism of the Cameroonian army was again re-echoed, but the minister said that excesses would not go unpunished. The crucial security meeting held under the instruction of the President of the Republic of Cameroon. During the said meeting, the Minister of Defense, Joseph Vitiasomo, saluted the bravery and professionalism of the Cameroonian army. The current socio-political crisis in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon was equally discussed. Now, dozens of prelates met in Limbe to pray for peace. During the heavily attended ceremony, it was underscored that there is no military or cultic or political solutions to the current unrest in the two Anglophone regions of Cameroon. David Simaimo was there. He brought back this report for the news.
Even though the banners says it was an event to pray for peace in Cameroon, analytically the event had three phases. The first being that of the clergies to pray for peace in Cameroon, with Reverend Dr. Chief Molindo leading the clergies with a powerful sermon.
There is no military solution to this problem in Cameroon. There is no audacious solution to the solution in Cameroon. There is no occultic solution to the problems in Cameroon. Only God can save Cameroon. Only Yahweh can save Cameroon.
The clergies in their intercessory prayers prayed for peace to reign in Cameroon.
Almighty God, we realize that this crisis is not a physical war. It is not a war that can be won by politics. It is not a war that can be won by guns. It is a war against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Father, we pray, may you instill love in the heart of everyone. The government, the civilians, the kidnappers, the military, every stakeholder in this nation, Father, instill love and peace in their hearts.
We are confident that whatever we ask in the name of the Lord will be granted to us. We come this day, dear God, to ask for peace upon our land.
The high point of the event saw the guest of honor, Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Leunga, disclosing the second phase of the event, which to her is very paramount.
Please send your children to school and take note that Cameroon is not going to stand still because you don't send your children to school. The GCE will still take place, the baccalaureate will still take place, the water flows. The water does not stand still. So you must send your children to school as we open this year. Very important.
As to who or those behind the event, the minister unveiled it to be the brainwork of some indigenous youth in Fako, contrary to what was thought to be the clergies in Limbe. This was a third phase.
It is the children of the tribe, from Mongo to Boya to Limbe. Who did this? We did not call everyone. Oh, we've done a great job and things are going.
The presence of the Minister of Women Empowerment and the Family and other top government officials speak for itself the importance of the event to the government. The event, graced with praise and worship songs, witnessed a cream of clergies from almost all the denominations present in Limbe, not leaving out the imams of the Muslims' faith. It was equally heavily protected by the forces of law and order.
Prelates there insisting that only prayers can pave the way out of the current impasse now after the government of Cameroon frustrated plans by the Social Democratic Front Party to travel and assist Anglophone refugees in neighboring Nigeria. The party of Nijon Fundi has decided to divert the material aid to internally displaced in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon. The exercise is going to be commencing in the days ahead, as was announced in Bamenda recently. Party officials say that the caprice of the regime would not stop them from reaching out to the people who need them now more than ever before. Details with Stella from Bamenda.
These items were initially destined for Cameroonian refugees who have fled from the two English-speaking regions of the country to the Federal Republic of Nigeria due to the Anglophone crisis. The gifts, comprising of foodstuffs, clothes, footwears, medical equipment among others, put together by the Social Democratic Front Party, are from diverse sources.
30 bags of rice here that it would have been given by 30 different people. That is, the people feel for their brothers. An old mother will bring some slippers. Look at 10 liters of oil brought by an old mother. She take the 10 liters. And that's so ours is people oriented.
Since May 2018, the party has not been able to get these items to its targeted population in the various camps in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The visit has been aborted after several adjournments.
Those that are outside, they don't have relatives. Nigerians are human beings like us, but they are not their relatives per se. So the SDF thought that the best thing to do was to support them. Unfortunately, the visa, the green light for us to transport these things from here through the borders into Nigeria was not given. Why it was not given, we cannot tell. But I want to believe that it has to do with politics. When a good politician is working, others want to put speed brakes, and I think that it was a way of putting speed brakes on the part of the SDF.
Some of the items are getting bad after being kept for a very long time. The party is concerned and has therefore resolved that.
And now that we could not go, well, we have internally displaced, and so we are going to share it to our internally displaced.
The Social Democratic Front Party has continued to call on people of goodwill to assist the displaced persons who have been forced to live under difficult conditions in homes far away from their homes as the crisis drags on in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. They have also called on government to explore ways of resolving the crisis so life can return to normalcy all over the national territory.
We continue to talk about the viral video that was shot in the far north region of the country, debunked a few weeks ago by the Minister of Communication in Cameroon. The president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, Professor Maurice Kamto, in a press conference which took place in Yaoundé, to defrown at some individuals who accused his party for propagating fake videos showing the Cameroonian military camping or carrying out extrajudicial killings in the far north region of the country. He said that some people are accusing his party for fabricating the viral video, which left many in shock and consternation. And it should be noted that Professor Maurice Kamto said that that thanks to the social media, the video went viral, and the national and international community mounted pressure on the government of Cameroon to carry out investigations, and the truth was finally revealed. The president of the CRM was speaking in a press conference in Yaoundé to the indicated that before the image of the Cameroonian military was tarnished, the failure began from the technical experts, the government, and the minister delegate at the presidency in charge of defense. He equally said that his respect for the defense corps in the country is not debatable. Before we get the reactions of some politicians here in the country's economic capital, Douala, with regards to the viral video, it should be noted that the Minister of Communication, Issa Shirma Bakari, has revealed the names of some Cameroonian soldiers arrested in connection with the summary execution of some women and children in the far north region of Cameroon. He had earlier denied all the allegations and the involvement of the Cameroonian Defense Forces in the video that went viral a few weeks ago. Details with Babila Jonathan.
When the footage of soldiers shooting to death some women and their children went viral on social media with an accusing finger pointing to Cameroonian armed forces, Communication Minister and government spokesperson Issa Chiruma Bakari rejected the accusation.
At present, no evidence of the involvement of the Cameroonian military in the incriminated acts has so far been provided.
He went further to say that the guns, military uniform and shoes used by the perpetrators of the crime had nothing to do with the military of President Biya's country.
The weapons used are of AK-47 type, commonly called Kalashnikov, widespread in Africa and found in the hands of both regular armies and criminal gangs. As for the nicknames Cobra and Chocho used in the video, these identifiers do not refer to anything in the Cameroonian army.
After investigations, he backtracks and reveals the names of Cameroon's armed forces who are suspected to have committed the summary executions. In a release, Issa Chiruma Bakari said investigations led to the arrest of Lieutenant Fobasu Etienne, Sergeant Bidyala Sidrak Ile, Corporal Godway Mana Didier Janon, Corporal Sanga, Private Sergeant Donosu Barnabas, Private Second Manasseh Jonathan, and Private First Class Nteche Feu Gizian. The suspects will face the law.
That is Babla Jonathan there reporting. On to something else. Chiefs and elites in the southwest region of Cameroon have rejected the All-Anglophone Conference convened by Christian Cardinal Tumi and other actors of the civil society meeting in the nation's capital Yaoundé that was at the weekend, in a meeting that was chaired by the president of the Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, Peter Mafani Musonge. The chiefs and elites of the southwest region of the country indicated that the time to mourn, reflect and heal following the desecration of the land and culture of the people of the southwest region of the country is now, and not for the convening of a conference to seek solutions to the Anglophone crisis. The conference was supposed to take place between the 29th to the 30th of August 2018. It is now been postponed to the 21st to the 22nd of November 2018. That is after the 2018 presidential election in Cameroon. Now we are going to be having an excerpt of a legal mind here in the country's economic capital, Douala, reacting with regards to the postponed Anglophone conference. Take a listen. He was speaking to Babla Jonathan.
Just last week, the Anglophones of the diaspora came together and they are now talking with one voice. So I don't know that the language of unity has prevailed in the diaspora. And on the home front, nobody can say there is division because the main points are known. There are those who want federation, there are those who want a unitary state, there are those who want independence. There is no diverting from those 3 points. So the real problem is to bring out people who are going to defend the interests of the Anglophones. And you see, when you look at it clearly, if you want to defend the interests of the Anglophones, how do you determine whether it is the federalists who are more, or the independents who are more, or the people who want unitary state? If you are looking at it from that standpoint, then the real solution will come only from a referendum. It will come only from a referendum. Consult the people, let them tell the world what they want. And that's the best thing to do. So if this government thinks that they don't want to convene, or they should not convene, an inclusive national dialogue so that everybody sits on the table, then the only alternative will be a referendum in which the southern Cameroonians are going to determine what they want. Whether they want to stay with their brothers, whether they want an independent country, or whether they want the federal republic.
There is Barrister Ashu Agbo Emmanuel there reacting to the convening of the Anglophone conference. It should be noted that a reporter, Babla Jonathan, equally talked to some politicians here in the country's economic capital, Douala. In the following report, they are going to be reacting to the postponement of the Anglophone General Conference. The report of Babla Jonathan that is going to be taking a look at the reactions of some politicians here in the economic capital Douala following the postponement of the Anglophone General Conference. Babla Jonathan compiled their views in this report. We certainly would be coming back to that report in the course of this newscast. Before we come back to that, it should be noted that a new government delegate to the Betua City Council has been appointed. It is contained in a presidential decree that was made public today. Mr. Wamane Mbele is the new government delegate to the Betua City Council. Is replacing Mr. Diodone Samba that was appointed several months ago as advisor at the presidency of the Republic of Cameroon. It should be noted that the said post has been vacant for several months now. Mr. Wamane Mbele is the new government delegate to the Betua City Council in the East region of Cameroon. We come back to that report, getting the reactions of politicians following the postponement of the All Anglophone Conference. Babla Jonathan got the views of some politicians and barristers in the city of Douala. He tells us more in this report.
Politicians attribute the postponement of the Anglophone General Conference to poor conception and organization.
I think the conveners have done the reasonable thing, because when the announcement was made, it was as if it was some unilateral stuff which they were forcing people to come in, just like that. But before you do such a meeting or hold such a conference, you're supposed to meet a lot of stakeholders, especially those guys who are in the bushes, those guys who have carried out arms. You're supposed to sensitize them and tell them why it is advantageous for them to stop carrying arms against their own brothers. You need to consult and meet a lot of people for them to come together to seek the solutions that all of us want.
If you say you are coming up with a conference that is going to elect or select representatives of the English-speaking regions to attend a national negotiation, I think then that is total trash and it is not welcome at all. The reasons being that, first of all, you have a problem of legitimacy. You cannot imagine that a conference will select representatives of about 4 million people. A conference. You see, this is a mockery of the social, cultural, and traditional institutions of our region.
Another issue highlighted to explain why it could not take place at the initial date of 29 and 30th August 2018 and why it may never hold is the unfavorable climate and terrain.
You cannot say you're organizing a conference in Buea in a context of total insecurity. How the people who are in Fruawa and Frukankan guarantee the safety of their trip through the embattled civil war areas right up to Buea? How do people of Menji, areas that are a no-go zone, how do they get themselves to Buea? This is, I say, it's a total misconception and it's something that ought to be just shelved.
The conveners have reaffirmed their determination. However, the conveners have reaffirmed their determination to pursue the initiative intended to lay the groundwork for finding a peaceful and lasting solution to the Anglophone crisis and for a return to normal life in the northwest and southwest regions. They have urged the people of the two regions to continue preparing their individual attendance and effective participation in the conference scheduled for 21st and 22nd of November 2018.
And on a very sad note, the death of His Royal Highness Chief Eso Ito is still a shock to many in the southwest region of the country and the country at large. The traditional ruler of Ekondo Titi was pulled out of the church where he was worshipping with fellow Christians. That was yesterday by unknown gunmen and shot few meters away from the church. That was the Baptist Church in Ekondo Titi of Ndiang Division in the southwest region of Cameroon. His remains have been deposited in the mortuary in Limbe, southwest region of Cameroon, pending burial. Now, more than 30,000 liters of illegal fuel entering the country was at the weekend captured and intercepted by the Navy in Limbe. The vessel transporting the illegal fuel left Nigeria and was sailing towards Cameroon when it was tracked around the Bakassi Peninsula. Davis Maimo has the details in this report.
According to the Navy commander representing the commander of the Navy in Limbe, the boat transporting illegal fuel from neighboring Nigeria was intercepted, captured, and brought to the Bota Wharf by the Navy off the coast of the Bakassi Peninsula in the Cameroon territorial waters as it was on its usual patrol mission securing Cameroon territorial waters.
Exactly during the night in the north part of our territorial sea, and as usual the ship, the boat was seized, and the Navy ship was who arrested the ship, brought it here.
The illegal fuel, more than 300 drums of 200 liters each, giving an estimate of more than 30,000 liters, amounting to over 25 million CFA francs, has been handed to the competent arm of the government, the Regional Delegation for Water and Energy, for due processing.
Shari Jerome, I am representing the Regional Delegate of Water, Resources and Energy. The Commission is going to look at the products to verify the quality of the product. And if it proves that the quality is good, we are going to proceed to an auction sale of the product. And if the quality is doubtful, the next thing we have to do, we'll be thinking of how to partner with Sonara for the recycling of the products.
The Navy in Limbe has been working tooth and nail in making sure the coast of Limbe is free, not just from illegal goods entering the country, but equally working with other forces to ensure the total security of Cameroon territorial waters off the coast in the Bakassi Peninsula.
We now talk about activities of youths in Lum of the Mongo Division of Cameroon. During this period of the holidays, children are working hard during this period of the holiday to generate income and prepare for their back to school, while they are storming streets to raise income. Others are simply attending their holiday classes. Innocent as it takes us to Lum and focuses on the activities of youths during this period of the holidays in the following report.
Less than 3 weeks to the start of the 2018-2019 school year, some children in Lum, Mongo Division of the Littoral Region intensify their hustling and bustling activities to maximize enough profit for school needs and feeding. They are engaged in all sorts of activities, irrespective of the risk involved. While some roast plantains and plums along the road, others hawk and target vehicles plowing the road.
Les enfants de 5 à 10 ans.
Positive thinkers say these children from 5 to 10 years hawk in the streets because they come from poor backgrounds, a situation which, according to them, cannot be avoided by parents.
Dans les 3 mois de vacances.
To some, the holiday is to help their parents and guardians as they carry bags and cutlasses and accompany them to the farm.
On a beaucoup travaillé, on a comme porté les bois, sacré le sol, fait beaucoup de choses agricoles.
Something which, according to this man, recalls is very important for the children, describing agriculture as a backbone of the society. While these sets engage in business and agricultural activities, their peers attend holiday classes to boost their knowledge ahead of the next school year. Whatever these children on holiday do, it is geared at solving a situation or impact their lives positively and should never be undermined.
Innocent as they're reporting how kids in Lum of the Mongo division of Cameroon are either hawking, studying or farming with their parents. They're bringing us to the end of this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinoxe Television, during which we talked about Honorable Jean-Jacques Kindi that has challenged Cameroonian opposition party leaders running for the upcoming presidential election in Cameroon to propose concrete solutions to the current Anglophone crisis. We equally took a look at the prelates in Limbe Southwest region of Cameroon, who indicated that no military political solution can put an end to the current unrest. Professor Maurice Kamto, who indicated that his respect for the Defense Corps in Cameroon is not debatable, but maintains that those behind the brutal killing of women and children identified in a viral video in the far north region of Cameroon should be brought to book. That is that for this edition of the news. We thank you so much for joining us. Up next, Dizonto. Stay tuned.